Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This week we're talking about best friends pet care. Coming to you live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, you're watching The Trip. This is The Trip, episode 45 for the week of January 20th, 2016. The Trip is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect vacation, whether it be theme parks on the West Coast, East Coast, or on the seas. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone. This is The Trip, our little show about travel, family, and all the craziness in between. I'm Jenny Lynn.
And I'm Teresa.
And I'm Jackie.
And then back in the production nook, we have our producer, Craig Williams.
Hi.
Hi. How are you, Craig?
I'm great.
Cool.
Just trying to get something ready here.
Cool. We're going to give him a little time to get ready. This week, we are going to be talking about Best Friends Pet Care. For those of you who may not know, that is the pet boarding facility on Disney's property. We had a little bit of inspiration this past week. I recently adopted 2 little kittens who I love, named Ink and Paint.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I can join the kitty club.
But before we talk about that, I have an issue. Okay, my issues across the table from me here. I feel like I need to address this. Since Jackie's been on the show, 2 weeks, right? This is our 3rd show with Jackie. Is that correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, 3rd week with her, and people are sending me messages and writing in and wanting to know if I have a problem with Jackie. They seem to think I don't like her, that I can't stand her, and I don't want her on the show. It's all true. No, I'm kidding. No. I don't know what... Okay. People think that I have some sort of attitude with Jackie being here. I do not. I've known Jackie not very long, just a few months. I feel like we're getting along well. I feel like... Okay, she is totally opposite of the way I am. But people have to understand the way I am. If I give her a bunch of crap and I... Okay... Craig, show Jackie for a minute. Just for a second. Okay. The crap sitting on top of her head. Okay, now come back to me. She sets this crap up for me to
react to.
And I'm all about, Lord knows I love glitter. I love happiness. I'm a happy person. I really am. But I'm a sarcastic person. And if I'm going to throw some, I hate to keep using the crap, but I want to use another word, and Craig won't let me. Stuff your way, it's because I like you. If I did not like you, Jackie, it would be all about, I would just be nice. So, heads up, people, if I'm nice to you, probably really don't. I'm kidding. That didn't come out right either.
Just keep digging that hole.
Okay, dig a big hole.
She's digging a hole.
You know, okay, so here's a story. Before Jackie started, but we knew she was going to be on the show, Jenny Lynn and I did a show, whatever show that was that week. I don't remember what it was. And before we went live, the mics were live. I'm going to tell this. And we had just had a meeting with Jackie, and she said something about she felt like she had been pixie dusted. And I'm thinking, what the crap is going on? You know, because you're just all happiness and poop and rainbows and stuff. Okay. Before we went live on that show, I said that on the show because I had never heard anybody say that to my face. I've heard people say it.
I believe the quote was, I feel so pixie dusted right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, this is going to hurt Jackie's feelings. I don't even hardly know her. So she didn't watch the show live, but I called her. I called Jackie after the show. And I explained the whole situation. And I said, look, nothing. And I told her right then we had a nice little conversation. Did we not have a nice little conversation?
We did.
We had a nice conversation. And I said, look, this is just the way I am. And
And I didn't think anything of it.
Okay, I know you didn't, but
Yeah.
I thought, I think it was JL got me worrying about, it had to be you.
It probably was me.
Got me all worried about, you're going to hurt her feelings right off the bat.
I was
that's what
concerned.
I'm here for. I'm
we didn't
sorry.
want people to.
I don't mean to hurt your feelings.
Did not hurt my feelings.
Only person that I would truly want to hurt their feelings would be Craig. Yeah. He's waving at me with this particular finger over there.
Oh, I flicked her off. Oops.
Oops. Turn the mic.
Didn't feel like talking today. No, I flicked you off. It was good. Behind the scenes magic.
Behind the scenes magic. I feel like I've been
Ooh.
pixie dusted because before we started, I was back at him that way.
Different
So
kind of pixie dust. I like it.
It is. So I just don't want anybody to get all upset. I truly love my husband. I love my family.
She does have a soul.
I do have a soul. I'm not a hateful, bitter, I can't say that word, person.
Woman.
Witch. How about that?
There you
use
go,
the word
witch.
Substitute a B if you want. And I don't think I'm that way. I don't feel that I'm that way. So
I didn't
Jackie,
think
if you
you were.
ever feel like I'm being mean to you, suck it up and move on.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Right?
Yeah. I didn't feel that way.
Okay, good.
Just so you know.
Other
I
people
actually
are
think-
feeling that way.
You should respond as well.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way at all. In fact, I thought that you were so funny, and it was everything I could do to not die laughing right here at the table, because I thought it was so funny that you were kind of harassing me. It's fun. It's all in good fun.
It is all in good fun. This
Yeah.
we're not curing anything here. We're just giving out information and doing our best.
Yeah.
And, I'm just thankful
it's
you're here
fun.
so I don't have to pick on JL all the time now.
I'm thankful for that reason too, by the way.
No. So I'm
It's fun. I think
I'm not a hateful person
No.
unless I have to be.
And we have to have different personalities, otherwise we'd be boring.
Oh, I know. If I was sitting here with that on my head, like you are at this moment.
Oh, you mean these lovely Minnie Mouse ears?
Yes.
Oh, these are just my favorite things in the world.
So I do weird things like that at home, but not where people can see me.
Oh. You have to embrace your pixie dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be working on that, Tess.
I'll be working on that pixie. Embracing my pixie dust. Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of what we just want to address. That some people out there watching seem to have thought there was an issue. There is actually no issue. This is our group. We know each other. We like each other. We're figuring it out, our chemistry.
Yeah, give us time, people. Then I'll really.
Then she's
blast her.
really going to be coming after Jackie.
That's when it's going to get good.
Golly. It's just so hurtful when people say crap like that.
Oh.
So I'll be nice to you. I love your ears.
Oh.
Just be as sweet and just don't change. Just keep pooping rainbows and I'll be over here. Okay, bye. JL, what's our topic this week?
Yeah, let's get into a little bit of trip talk. Okay, as we mentioned before, we're going to be talking about best friends pet care. We thought that was a good topic to cover this week.
Yeah, we all have pets.
Now we all have pets.
We all care. We do. I do.
And we all have to now consider the issue of what you do with these pets when you go on vacation,
Yeah.
particularly Disney World.
You have 2 cats.
I do. They're just the sweetest little things. I adopted 2-month-old little kittens a few weeks ago, and they are wild and making my life a lot more hectic, but so sweet.
kitties.
It's worth it when they go to sleep with each other, and because they're sisters, so they're always on top of each other. And anyway, we're all adjusting at home happily, and but it does come to mind like, woo, now I've got a new issue with what do we do with these cats when we go away. I'm at home, single myself, so when I go away, I don't have anybody to take care of them when I leave. So we came across this issue.
Yeah.
It's something that we all are going to be having to deal with. And we went to Facebook to ask you guys what your opinions were of this particular facility. We got some really good feedback. We picked out a few to read this week. One was from Lisbeth Verdick. She said, "This was the most amazing pet daycare we have ever seen. The pet care at Disneyland Paris is far from what it is at Walt Disney World. The places that cats have is about is about the space that you get at Disneyland Paris for a small dog the size of a pug. So she was pretty impressed with the facility at Walt Disney World. Alba McHugh, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, said, "My family, Sparky, our dog, and I love this place. They take good care of our dog every time he stays there." Suzanne Doan had a little bit of an issue. She said, "You're missing," well, we had put up a photo album on our Facebook page, which is, if you're not following us on Facebook, you might want to do that, because as we're visiting places, we are discussing them on Facebook and also creating photo albums of the places we're going to. So you'll get a little bit more of an in-depth view of these places than you're actually getting from the show. And in reference to that photo album, she said, "You're missing the picture where most of the dogs are housed. Wall-to-wall small kennels of dogs. My dog was terrified, and I had to go back to get him out of the cage." So she did not have quite such a magical experience about that. I did want to say, Suzanne, the reason why we do not have a picture of that in our photo album is because we were told that we could not take pictures of that part of the facility. So that's why that was not in there.
Dog protection program, probably.
I think maybe, I mean, every single kennel in there was filled with a dog.
I found it odd that they would let us take pictures of the cats, but not the dogs.
I did wonder about that as well. And
That
I wasn't really sure what the reasoning was behind that at all. But I mean, actually, since we're talking about, we should probably just go ahead and talk about our experience at the kennel. Now that we've given the sentiments, what happened was Teresa and I went this last weekend, and we visited the facility, got a tour of it as well, and got down a lot of information. And it was a really nice facility.
It was very nice. We walked in and just asked for a tour, and we both have pets, so we have the right to do that. Go in and ask. They started with the cat area, which was nice, clean. There was no odors that sometimes you've experienced.
Not at all.
No,
I
there was
actually
nothing.
I was expecting something, because whether it's an
Maybe that's the
animal-
area we couldn't go in.
Right, whether it's an animal shelter or a vet or whatever, there's always a little bit of an
Something,
aroma.
yeah.
You think you'd get a whiff of a litter pan somewhere.
No.
There was no smell whatsoever.
Okay, talking about that cat room. It was a room with little kitty condos built into the walls on both sides. There we go. Yeah, that's it.
The one that you're looking at right now is actually one of the smaller condos, and that gives the cat access to an upstairs and a downstairs, and then one horizontal room adjacent, which they refer to as the patio. So as you can see in that photo, it would be those two sections stacked on top of each other, and then you can see the little door on the right that leads to what they would call the patio.
And there's a litter box in one of those little squares off to the side.
Yes, and on the
That's where
patio.
on the patio. And the square in the floor of the top section where the cat can jump from the bottom to the top, I found that square woefully too small.
That would not have worked for Klaus.
Klaus would have been wedged in that little hole. So that kind of bothered me. But I think, I don't know, it was nice. It was clean. The cats in there seemed very friendly and
They were.
very well adjusted.
There was no hissing or unhappiness that you detected from the cats as
No.
you walked by. And then Craig was showing it a second ago. They have two sizes of the condos that you can get for the cats. They have the smaller one, which is the 2 levels with the side patio. And then they have the larger one, which is 4 levels with 2 adjacent patios to the side.
Now, the pricing for these, the 2-level condo, standard price is $28 a day or a night. If you're a Disney resort guest, it's $26. The 4-level condo, the standard is $40 a day. Resort guests get it for $38. Second and third cats sharing a condo will receive a discount. So if you have 2 cats or 3, we didn't see any with 3. We did see one with a couple of them with 2.
We saw one with 2, but they have said families,
they can
cat
share.
families can share.
And which is cool.
Yes, that is. Like in my case, I think of, my 2 kittens. I wouldn't want them separated.
No, in my case, I would, because they don't get along. They get along, but I think if they were enclosed, those little compartments, I think there would be some.
Tear at each other.
Yeah.
But it's nice that you have that option.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is a little area all of the cats, I believe, are let out individually
Yeah.
when they're cleaning their little area.
Yes. Okay. So, in my opinion, obviously, the cats don't have it as good as the dogs in this facility.
Oh, yeah, I only want to go there.
For one reason is they only have the one room that is wall-to-wall cat condos. Now, it is at the end of the room, they do have a little play area. There's a tower for them to climb up and scratch. And then there's little kitty toys all
Plenty
on the
of
floor.
windows where they can look out at the rocks.
Yep,
and stuff.
yep, they do. But what we were told was they were only told that the cats are taken out when their condos going through housekeeping.
Right.
You know.
When housekeeping arrives.
Yeah, and they can run all around that room, but then after that, it's back into that condo. They don't really get let out for any other reasons, and they're not permitted in any other area of the facility.
And that's for the safety of the cats, because
Yes.
we all know how cats.
Yeah, that's due to
they
the
can
nature
slip
of
through.
cats.
Yeah, they would be out
They
in the woods.
kind
at the
of
end
go
that.
out and do their own thing all
and they
the
don't
time.
really come when you call them that
Right.
often. Whereas, so.
They have Attitude Central.
Yes,
But
dogs are a little easier
there
to
is
manage.
a la carte kitty things. You can get extra playtime for $8 a day, cookies and milk $3, tuna on a Ritz cracker $3, activity toy $3, and deluxe kitty bed $5 per day. They will, of course, all animals have to be up on their vaccinations, and what was the other? Up on their vaccinations, and cats will be current on rabies and FERCP, written proof from vet required. Dogs must be current on rabies, Bordetella, and DHPP. And it's $2 per administration if your pets need to be medicated while they're there. And they do insulin, but you have to do it, right?
Right. They will give medication, but they don't do the injections.
That's right.
They will
Injection.
store the medication
but
for
not the
you,
sharp, not the needles. You have to bring. They won't keep those there.
and then you also have to be the one that gives the injection. They will not do that,
Because there are no actual vet techs on property.
and that's probably something important that everybody would want to know. There are no
yeah.
vet techs at this
That
facility.
was the first question. One of the
Yeah.
first questions I asked, because you want to know if something happens, heaven forbid, to your pet while they're there, no matter what it would be, if they have a health issue or whatever, you want to know if there's a tech there that is capable of doing whatever it is, CPR or CPR.
Well, I guess dog CPR. I don't know what it's called.
I've done it on a cat, so I know. I worked in a vet. So
Okay,
yeah,
now there's a story.
It's nothing better than putting your mouth over the nose and the mouth of a cat and breathing in. You do what you got to do, but
Yeah.
it's not something I want to do all the time.
Was it successful?
It was successful, yes.
Good for
The
you.
little kitty lived. But but they do have a vet nearby that they use, a regular vet, and you sign papers, obviously, so your dog or cat can be transported, and they call you immediately if there's something that you should be aware of. So that's good. I didn't like the fact that there wasn't a tech on board. I felt like there should be one there.
You do kind of feel that way. I think that comes from the facility seeming so impressive and of a large size. It's an expectation, I guess, you would kind of have, but apparently that's not the case. I mean, she did say that some of the people that do work there might have those types of skills, but
Right.
but in no way are they trained or certified by the facility. So
Right. And going back to the Best Friends Pet Care, this is not a standalone. These are all over the country.
this is a chain.
It's a chain that just happens to be at Walt Disney World. So
Yeah.
I like that.
This is a
the
chain.
fact that it's an established chain. Because I was under the impression before I went in that it was run by Disney. So
that actually kind of makes me think a little bit less of it. I know not all chains are bad, but whenever I think of a kennel, I want to think of someone who's running it as because they really care about animals,
Right.
and they have the room and the ability to take care of them. And at a chain, I feel like that's on the same level as people who take their pets to like Petco, to the veterinarian services and all that.
Right. Which people do.
You lose a lot by going to chains. And
Well, the fact that there's no tech here
yeah.
is a downside for me using it. And I like the fact, okay, you say, I think the people that work here obviously like animals and care about animals, or you would not work at a place like this.
Right.
I've worked at several different vet offices and that did grooming and all of that also. Everybody there loved animals. So
yeah.
I think I would hope that would be a given, that the people here and everyone we saw seemed very.
Everyone was very friendly and
Right.
and very.
Though there was that episode
you
about
know-
Criminal Minds where that guy worked at the vet but never mind. So we're going to assume that everybody here loves animals. That everybody we saw did, right? Did I throw
that's-
you off there?
You did.
Okay,
That was
good.
definitely one of those moments where I'm like, where is she going with this? Where are we going now?
For all intents and purposes, they love animals.
Yes, they do. And
You know what I thought was very interesting is it's not just cats and dogs. They take any kind of animal
non-venomous.
as long as it's not venomous.
I could take my bird.
They-
I saw a turtle there once.
Craig, you could take your bird. Oh, wait, yours doesn't have a
I
cage.
don't have a bird.
He doesn't have a bird or a cage.
I thought I saw the bird earlier.
I did see the bird earlier, but I guess he's not counting that bird. Anyway,
Oh,
a little slow. That's okay. Oh, here it comes. I get to see the bird.
Oh, it's made a reappearance.
Such a pretty bird. No, so I could take in my daughter's hamster.
Gerbils, turtles, fish.
Fish. She said fish.
She said they will take care of your fish. They will also take care of snakes as long as they're not venomous. It just can't be a poisonous
so.
animal.
All of those non-traditional, anything not a cat or a dog, or in one room. There were several birds we saw in there.
Yeah, all of that being said, that they do not have facilities for those types of animals. You have to bring the
Bring their
cage.
habitat.
Yeah,
Bring
you have
their
to bring their habitat, and their food
They're called
and that type
pocket
of things.
pets.
Yes.
Let's see what the prices are. Those a standard pocket pet. These are standard prices. Standard 13, medium 17, large 22, extra large 25, and there's a $2 discount if you're a resort guest on any of those. So, yeah. What if my pocket pet wants to be with my cat? They can't do that. The
Oh,
cat
you know
has-
what else I wanted to tell you about
What?
the discounts? Disney Vacation Club members get that discount too.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So, yeah, take in your pocket pet.
Yeah, you did bring up a good point. You can't, even if, let's say you have a cat and a dog, you can't board different species in the same room. So your cat's not going to be in the dog villa, and your dog's not going to be in the cat condo, and your bird's going to be in his own separate cage. It's very
They can pass notes,
it's very
but they can't.
segregated there.
It is very segregated.
Heads up. They have not had
They can
the
pass little notes to each other.
they have
right,
not had the
to
civil rights movement
attendants.
there. It is not equal opportunity. But yeah, okay. So
What did you think, before we leave the cat room, what did you think about those condos?
I actually thought that they were decent. I mean, granted, I do not have experience with other kennels, other places to board, so I'm not familiar with what other places offer and how it compares. But
They weren't cages, which I liked.
they were not cages. They
But
looked
they seemed like little refrigerator compartments to me.
yes. Well, I mean, in all honesty, they do look a lot like some of the situation that you would find in an animal service place, like where I had to go to adopt my cats.
Right.
You know, the SPCA or Pet Alliance or whatever it is. They are in these cages or rooms with plexiglass on the front and a little room for them to play, some kind of toy on the inside. It was much like that. The cats are not living in the lap of luxury, but
They're being well taken care
they
of. I
are
think.
being, yeah.
And
Again,
it was very clean. I saw nothing anywhere.
no,
that would
there
lead
was
me to believe.
no odor. There was no mess. Like we said, the cats, when we were walking by, there was no hostility from animals that were
No.
unhappy at
one
all.
was just like staring me down. I think he was trying to kill me with his eyes. But the one
That's
was
funny.
Yeah, cats do that.
They do. They don't want to
Yeah.
be played with.
But there were others that were just all up. Woo! You're my best friend.
Yeah.
Let me out. Let me out.
Yeah, they
touch
wanted-
me. Touch me.
Yeah, they
So
would-
it was kind of cool. I mean, the way that
Yeah.
But not saying everybody's cat. You know your own cat. You know if your cat could handle this. I think in my instance, Klaus would adjust well, as long as he didn't get stuck in that transport hole from one level to the other. Roxy would absolutely be the freaking one. I think
She's a little bit too active.
Yeah, she's a little bit too skittish, and she doesn't like people in general. So I think she would not do well there.
You
But
know
if
what,
you know
though?
your pet, you know your cat.
Even in saying that that she's skittish, I did take note of this. The dog section of the facility and the cat section were so far away. You really weren't in the cat section. I know a lot of times cats get freaked out by dog noises and things like that. There really wasn't much of that at all. I
I
don't
heard nothing in there.
Yeah, I don't remember
It was
hearing.
like the silent room.
I don't remember hearing anything that would make a cat.
No.
React.
But I think it's for a reason it's that way, obviously. They want to keep it quiet. They want to keep it calm because cats are best in that environment. So I think the cat area was as good as it is going to get.
Yeah,
you know.
probably.
I think you couldn't have. I did kind of expect a couple cat villas where they were lounging and watching TV, but it didn't happen.
There really was just not. The best you could do is the 4 levels with the 2 patios.
Yeah.
So they can jump up vertically
like a
and
serious
walk a little
mansion.
horizontally. So
Unless you're 30 pounds and then you're stuck in the hole. Okay.
then you're just stuck at the bottom. Poor Klaus.
You're not going to the second level, mister.
Now, when we walked into the facility, immediately you walk into this really big, I mean, not lobby. I guess it's kind of like a
It's kind
lobby
of a lobby. I would call it a waiting room, a lobby.
and a gift shop.
Had a little gifty shop.
A little bit of
Little bit of
areas to
everything.
look at while you're in there. It was nice. It was clean. Again, no odor. The people who were at the counters were friendly, helpful. Even
Reminded me of a vet's office, kind of. With
Yeah.
a little bit of gift stuff thrown in.
and
Cute stuff too.
Yeah.
even I'm forgetting what the word is that I want to say. I want to say proactive, but that's not the word. But where they approach you and can we help you with anything? Can we answer any questions? We didn't even have to ask for the tour. Somebody approached us to see if there was anything that they could do for us. And when we said we
Yes.
were interested in looking around without a blink, absolutely yes, let's
Yep.
show you around. They had some really cute stuff in that gift area. I was particularly impressed with the collars and the leashes, all Disney
Collars,
themed.
leashes. They had some that were other themed, but most of it was Disney
Yeah,
themed.
like Hakuna Matata or Little Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas. One thing that I thought was really cool about the collars and unique, and you can see this in the picture, they had a seat belt kind of fastener. So it was kind of like a seatbelt collar. I was into it. And
Really sturdy.
yeah, very sturdy, but then also cute. And then your pet gets a little bit of pixie dust.
Disney
Jackie.
bling. Disney
Yeah,
bling
Disney
is
bling.
the best. It's Teresa's favorite.
Love it.
Something that you could also see from that lobby area, they had, you could see in the picture where was the paw print with the glass. There was an area there behind that glass for what they called doggy daycare. And we got to actually see that in action.
Yeah, there were a dozen dogs in there, maybe a few more.
Yes.
10 or so dogs in there. There they are,
So fun.
and they were just having a good time,
They were running around on that jungle gym area and
interacting with their little human that was in there with them.
she'd hold some of them if they felt like they needed attention.
And they could see us at the glass because they were circling. One of them was like a little pony prancing around.
Yeah, he was like in
Had his
dressage
little-
class or something.
Yeah,
with
he
his-
was just like a little pony circling the room. And people were there to pick up their pet when we were there too. Right after we watched, they got their little pet. And doggy daycare. They also have a cat daycare. Also, the doggy daycare up to 6 hours, indoor $20, indoor outdoor $22. You can't get a villa or a suite in doggy daycare unless it's over 6 hours. And then over 6 hours, indoors 34, indoor outdoor 38. Vacation villa for over 6 hours is 72, and the VIP suites are 89. Second and third pet sharing a suite for daycare will receive a discount, just like the cats. And they have a cat daycare too. Up to 6 hours is 21 on a 2 level, $30 on the 4 level. Over 6 hours is 26 or 35, depending on the 2 or the 4 level. So
I didn't even know there was such a thing as doggy daycare before we even went there.
Oh, I did.
But it's really a good idea for people who don't want their pet boarded overnight and are maybe staying somewhere where they can keep their pet with them, but you can't keep your pet with you during the day when you're in the parks.
Particularly Fort Wilderness. If you're over there camping I know a lot of people bring their pets, especially dogs, when they're camping. And I've been over there and seen their dogs in little outside enclosures or looking out the window of the camper or the RV or whatever you want to call it. This is an option for them. So they take them over here for the day while they're out doing their Disney stuff. So I think that's an awesome.
I do too.
Yeah.
I
Really
do too.
fun.
I think the dog would be more happy as well. They get the interaction.
Right.
They're not cooped up if they're
Most
running
dogs
around
are pretty
and
social. They
right,
they want
exactly.
to get out there and
And
Hi.
that was another
Yeah.
thing. All of these dogs that were in that room, at least my impression of dogs is when you're walking, as soon as they see another dog, it's immediately, like they're going at it with each other.
right.
None of these dogs were doing that at all.
No,
they were all completely fine with each other. And I think that was also due to the people that are taking care of the animals. They know whether each individual animal is able to handle the social
Right.
environment.
Well, you would give that information when you come in.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed when we were back touring the kennel area, there were stickers on some of the
rooms.
rooms on the, I guess, the information card for on the door of each pet, and some were green and some were red. And I just asked what the meaning was. I knew it had a meaning, obviously. I think red was no interaction with other pets, and the green was you could go out and play with the others. So you know your own pet, and you know if you want them to do that or not. Also, you need to know that if you're going to do that, your dog needs to be spayed or neutered if they're going to have interaction with other animals.
That was what I was just going to say.
Yeah,
was
you don't want to come
before.
home with another,
Yeah.
Yeah, only
Special
what do they
Disney
call them? Altered animals are allowed in social situations. Unaltered animals have to remain isolated.
Kenji, when he
Altered.
was a baby, had to have a red sticker
Well, that's what
because
let's
he was not fixed.
let's talk about the dog part. And Jackie has boarded her pet Kenji
Yes.
at this facility. What did you say it was about 6 months ago?
Yeah, it was about 6 months ago. We bring so our dog is an Akita, and he we got him when he was 6 weeks old, and so he
Should
was
have named him Avita.
8 weeks old.
Akita. Okay, go
Akita.
ahead.
I know, Kenji. Well, we had to pick a Japanese name because he's a Japanese Akita.
Ah, okay.
So, little baby. And so we can't really live without him. And so we had to figure out what we were going to do when we came down to Disney. So I was like, all right, well, let's go to Best Friends and check it out. And they were amazing. And one of the things that really struck me when we first walked in, like you guys mentioned, it doesn't smell at all. And that is really difficult for a place that has pets all day to not have any smell whatsoever. I just couldn't believe it. And I said to my husband, they really work hard here to have it clean, and that was really important. So
you did he stayed overnight?
he did. He stayed overnight, and he.
They have different accommodations.
They
correct?
Did you have a
do.
grand villa?
Yeah, well, he didn't have a grand villa because he was. Let's see, when we brought him about 6 months ago, he was already 125 pounds. Now we've brought him; he's gone quite a number of times, and it's really cute because the staff know him. He looks, the same, except he's 10 times bigger than he was when we first started bringing him. But now he stays in one of the indoor-outdoor villas.
Okay.
And he loves it.
Let's talk about the different types of accommodations that they allow. The first one is, would they just call it a standard boarding? What's the name of it?
Well, they have
Just a
those ones that
standard,
are
yes,
cages,
standard.
but those are for like little dogs, like a Pomeranian or like a Chihuahua or a little tiny.
Well, we
See,
saw two
Kenji
different-
never could fit in
We
one
saw
of those.
two different sizes. These were the indoor standard things, and they basically were basic cages.
Indoor
of-
boarding with 2 potty walks is $41 or $39 for a resort guest or DVC, as you said. Indoor-outdoor boarding, including 1 potty walk, got to hold it. Standard $48, resort guest $44 for just the basic. Those are the 2 basics, and that's, I think, where the main dog population is.
And I think this was the section of the area that Suzanne said that the picture was missing. We were not permitted to take pictures of the dog facility. We do have some to show you of the other areas, but they weren't ones that we took. The standard is just basically cages, and then each dog does have an area, like the cats, that patio area that they can walk to outside of their cage.
That's why just the one potty walk, because if they're lounging around and they have to go, they can just go outside.
That's the indoor-outdoor. The indoor itself gets 2 potty walks because there is no area for them to. But you can add in extra
Potty walks.
extra a la carte stuff, play and stay, play group, playtime, cuddle time, charging you $8 for 10 minutes for them to cuddle little Elvis. Craig, what do you think about that?
Man, oh man.
Obviously, I've never taken him here before. We trust our friends to watch our dog whenever we're not around.
$8
just
for
because
10
he
minutes,
is
though.
that important. For us to get the level of care at Best Friends that we would want for our dog while we're gone, I feel like we'd be spending well over $100 a day, and
I
that's
think you
just
would.
not practical at
Because you'd
all.
want walk and explore. That's $8 for 10 minutes. Bedtime story, because Craig reads a bedtime story to Elvis every night.
He should.
And you should be getting
Do that.
$6 per story on that.
Actually, we watch dirty movies on HBO
okay.
together.
That would be
Before bed.
extra.
I was going to say.
Porn.
There's
is
a
extra.
big charge for that.
Yeah, there is. It's on here. We'll get to that.
Game of Thrones is not porn.
Oh, okay.
So, can I tell
Extra
you guys
fees.
something about what Craig said? Because we would be spending that too. But here's the greatest part about this. When you're touring the parks, you can go there as often as you want. So, what my family does, we take a break in the middle of the day. So, if we're at the parks in the morning, we're like, what time is it? Okay, it's time to go see Kenji. We're going to hop in our car and drive over to Best Friends, and we're going to spend like 2 hours with him.
Don't you think that confuses him though, or gets
No.
him all excited?
Not with ours.
I'm
Everybody.
going home. I'm going home. Oh no, not really.
Not yet, no. Well, everybody knows their dog,
Right.
and because Kenja's been there a few times, he kind of knows the drill. And
That's
so,
good. Klaus would just get pissed off.
Would
if
get
I
mad, yeah.
visited him and then left him. What? You're leaving me
what
again?
is going on?
What
Yeah,
crap is going on here?
that's true. Yeah.
He would feel abandoned, I think.
Well, see, and we have 3 cats, but we've never brought our cats because
why not?
they're self-sufficient. So we have a sliding glass door with one of those things that's in it, the cat door, so they can go in and out of our house. And they've got like a 2.5-gallon thing of water, and
So you don't really give your cats the care that you give the dog.
they don't
that what
want
you're
it.
saying?
They are so not interested.
I think it's well established, though, that cats are much more low maintenance than dogs.
Yeah, they are not even interested.
Except
They're
for Klaus,
whatever.
who is apparently very high maintenance.
Okay, I'm not even going to go there. I'm okay with you believing that if that's what you want to believe. Everybody knows their own pet,
Yep.
and whatever your animal is accustomed to, then you know if this will be right for them or not.
Well, I think we should
Our
talk
cats-
about what the other
Let me go on
types
with
of
the
accommodations
extra
are.
a la carte first. Let me finish this
okay.
list. Okay, so walk and explore is $8 for 10 minutes. Bedtime story is $6 per story, no porn. Ice cream break, $4 each. Holiday meal, what the heck that would be, $5. And the premium bed is $5 extra a day. So a bed that is comfortable.
Yeah, because they provide all the bedding.
They do.
They do in
They
these
won't let you
regular
bring your
indoor boarding and the indoor-outdoor boarding. Now they have JL. They have like we saw. They have other accommodations for dogs.
Right. They have the vacation villas, which
Vacation
are
villas.
pretty swanky and still not the top notch. That's still middle
Yeah,
tier.
vacation villas includes 1 potty break, play group, a flat screen TV, and a turned down biscuit. Okay, is it a biscuit like a Southern biscuit? It's a dog biscuit, right?
It's a
okay.
dog biscuit.
So a flat screen TV, but be sure that you cannot pick what your dog is going to watch on TV. All the dogs in the villas have to watch the same thing.
Yes.
So they might, if they've seen it before, they might not be happy. I
They
don't
might
know.
be bored. They'll just
They
go
might
to
be
sleep on
bored.
their little bed.
But they do have a nice little room.
And it's climate controlled.
It's climate control. It's like a giant version of the cat houses to me,
Yes.
kind of.
I guess, yeah.
except with a TV.
Yeah.
Cats don't get a TV. But I'm not even going to go there.
And then, if that isn't good enough for you, they have the VIP luxury suites.
Yes. Includes 2 potty breaks, 2 play groups, a flat screen TV, and the dog gets to pick what he watches, a webcam so they can watch your dog watching the TV, bedtime story, and a go-home fresh bath. Okay, so the vacation villas standard is $72, resort guest is $66. So there's a big cut there for the resort guest for that one, while the others were just $2 off or $3 off. VIP luxury suites standard is $89, resort guest $81.
The other thing about the VIP luxury suites is the deluxe villas do have that outdoor area again, that patio area, but the luxury suites have this whole like big area with AstroTurf and its own private little playground.
They did have like little Tyke's playground.
Little jungle gym things for the
Right.
dogs to slide down.
Or whatever they wanted to do. Yeah, look at that.
They have their
Max had
own
one of
little
those.
private backyard.
Yeah.
And then also beyond that, there's a running area that those dogs get to occasionally be let out in and roam
And
around.
run and do what they want to do.
Kenji has a ball there.
Oh
my gosh.
Does he go in the VIP?
We haven't had him in the VIP,
Oh, okay.
but he just loves all
They
those
have a
little
lot of-
things. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. And yeah.
It's fun. And we saw several dogs that were boarding together, like we said before.
Families, yeah.
If the species is the same, doesn't have to be the same breed, because we saw some
Different
funky
breeds.
mixes of families in there. There was this one dog. He was just laid up. I don't know what he was. I think he was an Akita, big Pyrenees mountain dog. I don't know. It was a big white dog. I knew what it was when I saw it. But with him were 2 smaller. I'm going to assume they were females because they were wearing pink capes.
They were wearing pink princess dresses.
Oh,
Is that what that was?
Yes.
Okay.
Little princess
were like,
dresses with tutus
Oh.
and bows in their hair.
They were all dolled up, and he was laying there like king of it all.
I love that.
So, yeah, and the owners did that because I said, well, you guys,
we asked if they do that. They were like,
dog
nope.
with the same outfit over on the other side. I'm thinking, why are they putting like pink capes on all these dogs? What's that about?
When at Disney, I mean,
Right, dress them
Right.
up.
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was great,
that.
and Jackie mentioned this earlier, was they do allow you to have access to your pet at any time that you want it. And they have some areas where it kind of accommodates that. They have a dog park, which you can take your dog out to, spend time with your dog there as it, roams around. They do have a few rules, but yeah, it's got benches for the people, water dishes. There's a water interactive area, actually, for the dogs to be able to run around and play if they want to get a little crazy.
Really fun.
And some little baby pools.
Yeah, a couple little pools. Craig, go back to that first picture with the benches. Oh, say the building behind it. See those misshapen windows and all that? That is the wall where the vacation villas are on the other side of those windows. So, though the windows aren't in the villas, they're like across the. We walk down a hall. We walk past those, so the dogs can see out.
Yes.
A little bit if
They-
they're so inclined.
And
to
they
look.
do. They go up to the window and they
Yeah.
watch.
See what's going on.
And that awning covers those benches so that you can sit out there. Because
Yes.
we've gone to
You won't
visit
be
when it was
baking
raining.
in the sun. You
Yeah.
won't be getting
Gives you
poured on.
shade.
Absolutely.
So nice.
They also have a dog walk that you're welcome to take your dog around the area. And it was kind of cute on the dog walk. They have fountains. I got into this. It's a stupid thing. But they have a fountain where the person can drink from the higher part of the fountain and the little dog can drink out of the fountain on the ground.
It's so cute.
It is adorable.
I love that,
I've never
too.
been exposed to this stuff before, so that was kind of cool for me.
It's like totally everything is just made for them.
Yes.
It's so awesome. It's like an amusement park for your pets.
A little bit, yeah. It's themed really well. They even had a Pluto topiary kind of out in this garden area, which I just thought, I love those little touches. The Pluto topiary. There's big plastic hydrants and large dog bones. It's like an all-store value resort for animals or something.
Yeah, and I was reading on the back of the brochure they gave us about day camp, which is different from
Doggy daycare.
doggy daycare, I guess. Fill your dog's day with energy-burning fun and healthful relaxation among friends.
Oh.
Drop off in the morning knowing that later you will pick up a happy, relaxed, and contented pet. Okay. At our Walt Disney World Pet Care facility, we feature 2 1,100 square foot camp rooms. That's might have been one of the ones we saw. With attached outside yards, a complimentary interview is required to determine the dog's suitability for group play in a pack environment. Ooh, dog packs. Vaccination and regular fecal checks are required for the health and safety of all our campers. Full day of day camp, $27. So,
And then, sorry.
Go ahead.
That's actually a really cool thing that if I lived closer to Best Friends, I'd probably use that quite a bit. I know Tracy Heinrichs, Dreams agent. You've probably seen her on the Dream Show in these ones. She loves her dog to death, her dog Finn, but she works way too much during the day. So she just said, okay, well, I'll pay the money to have him go to day camp. So that way he can run around like crazy all day and still get the exercise.
Yeah.
He socializes. And so, I mean, this is good not just for people who may be on vacation here, locals, and then cast members themselves, too, that might work a lot of hours and they need their dogs to get a little bit of exercise.
I think that's fun. And the dog park, fenced 25,000 square foot dog park gives guests and their families the freedom to visit and play and relax. That's what we were just looking at.
Yeah, I love
chasing balls,
that's my
frisbees,
favorite.
cool off in the dog's only water fountain. So that you can't get in the water fountain, Jackie. Don't
I
do
know,
it.
dang it.
Segregation
But
again.
Yeah.
You know what's really fun is that they have super cool toys in that little shop. So what Kenji thinks is really cool, because he told me, we'll buy him a special toy when we're there. And so they'll go back and get him for us and bring him up to the lobby, and then we get to take him out to the dog park. And so we give him this special toy, and we always get one that's sometimes we get a stuffed one to bring home, but we always get one that's a plastic one because he likes to run through those sprinklers. So he loves to fetch stuff, so we'll throw it in there and he'll run through the sprinklers. He just has a blast. It's the cutest thing in the world. It just breaks up your day. It's fun to have your pet there. It's fun. And if you're there and you don't have your car, grab a taxi or an Uber. Because it's right close, right there. So,
Well, before we run out of time, we did have some viewers that sent in some questions, and we wanted to get to those, answer them for you. Someone had asked, what are the prices like and what are the hours for the daycare? We've pretty much gone over the prices. Did we talk about the hours for
We
daycare?
haven't talked about the hours. I believe they're open 1 hour before the parks open and closed 1 hour after the parks close.
Yep.
After
That
the
is
latest
correct.
park.
After the
latest
latest park
closed.
is closed.
And they do have, I did notice at the entrance, late at night, the door's locked and you got to be buzzed in.
Now people are there, but
they're there.
you can't get in.
Which is awesome.
Right.
I like that. I like that. Little security.
yeah.
Yeah, and checking with always about the drop-off schedule is a good idea. Do we know, maybe Jackie, do you know this? How does extra magic hours work into that?
So Extra Magic Hours works the same way that their hours do. So Best Friends Pet Care follows Walt Disney World's Extra Magic schedule for resort guests. So they're going to be there an hour, if it's in the morning, an hour
So
before.
it's 8 o'clock, then they open at 7.
And then if it's evening Extra Magic Hours, then they're there an hour, or they're
So let's say
available
the
an hour later.
The Magic Kingdom closes at 1 a.m. because of extra magic hours. That place will be open till 2 a.m.?
Till 2 a.m.
And
That's the latest part.
they don't have to board their animal for the night. They can still
Correct.
pick up their animal at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
okay.
And they say that on their site
Not
that they follow
201.
those.
No, it's got to be, they're
By
going to close
2.
up. Then you're
That's-
going to be charged probably.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to throw your pet out, but
Yeah, but they'll charge you though.
yeah, they will.
All right, somebody else was wondering, how do they handle it if your pet becomes sick while boarding? Now, we already talked about there's not a vet on
There's
property.
not a vet or tech in the building, but they will call you. You've already pre-signed papers saying what you want them to,
that you've given them permission to handle the situation.
handle whatever the situation
if it
is.
arises.
Yeah.
What we did know is that they take them to, if it's necessary, they take them to a vet that is approximately 15 minutes away. And you will be called, when...
During this process,
During
you'll
the
be
process.
called.
You're not going to be called after. You're going to be called before, they leave, as it's happening. But they don't wait on that. They deal with it immediately.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, that actually happened to Pete last year during the 7 and 7.
I remember that.
He left Abby at Best Friends to kind of test it out, and we were at the Grand Floridian, he had to rush out because they said that she was showing some signs of sickness. So they are really on the ball with that, at least.
They are, yeah. That's good.
Somebody wanted to know, what are the pros and cons of bringing your pet with you and boarding them at Best Friends? I'm assuming they meant as opposed to leaving the animal at home or boarding it at home.
At home. Well, if you're here for a long time, obviously, you get to see your pet. You can go over and visit your pet.
Right. That would be
happy.
the pro. You don't have to have lengthy times away from your animal.
If you're driving, you could. I think if you were flying, I don't know. The pro would be to bring your pet if you're flying. Fly them down here. I'm sure maybe people do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, the best option is always have someone take care of your pets while you're gone and keep them in their home, or take them to their home if they're comfortable with that. But I think this is an amazing option because a lot of people do travel with their pets.
Right, exactly. I was thinking the same, along the lines of the same thing. The pros being you have your animal with you. You don't have to miss them. And also, if they do get ill, they're immediately accessible. You're not getting a call from 4 states away that your animal is sick, but there's not really anything you can do about it.
Yeah.
Cons would be transporting your pet.
Well, the cost.
Yeah, the cost of transporting your pet and the cost of boarding them there.
Right. And the stress on the pet. You know, like it all boils down to your pet.
Yeah.
If your pet if likes to travel and is used to that kind of thing and is, works in groups well and likes people, then by all means go for it.
Yeah,
and
like
if you got
Kenji's
you got the moolah, you got the money to put out for $50 a day extra or whatever. I can't imagine being at less than that because
Right.
you're going to add in that cookie and that, what was the thing Klaus would want? He would want the tuna on a Ritz, a couple of those a day, and I'm already up to $100,
He
right?
probably wouldn't want you to bring him home.
Cookies
after
and
that.
milk,
He'd be like, Mom, can I stay here?
right?
While
They
we're
give me
talking
tuna.
about snacks and things like that, somebody had sent in this question: do they follow personal dietary restrictions and times of feeding?
Yes, they follow the dietary restrictions. They have a brand of food that they use, but if your pet is on a special diet, you could definitely bring in the food in. And they
Right.
have little charts hanging on every. It's like a little hospital chart to me. A little chart hanging at every pet's condo or villa or cage, as it may be, and it has all of it written down. Everything.
Now, that's
Any
something
special
important
needs.
to note, too, that the food is included in these prices. Because, a lot of people have smaller dogs, but Kenji eats almost 2 cups of food 3 times a day. So,
Klaus too. Wow.
Well, the
Oh,
food
wow.
is included if
So-
you're using the food that they have.
Yeah.
If your animal has special dietary restrictions, then you have to provide that.
yeah, exactly.
Right. You have
to
But if
provide
you're,
that food.
like, when we were there, they were feeding science diet, and we could have a choice of either lamb, chicken, or beef.
Right.
So Kenji doesn't eat science diet, so we bring his food for him. He likes the Call of the Wild, or I think that's what it's called. But if your pet happens to be eating, science diet, that's a big savings if you're going to be there a week.
Well, if your pet's not, a picky eater,
Yeah.
Klaus would have to have his own food because he's picky.
Yeah, yeah,
He's not going to eat.
yeah.
Well, for most people who don't have dogs and are thinking about it and don't really know, haven't switched up their food, it's not really great for a dog's stomach to switch their food at
Or
all.
a cat.
So
I mean, it just
Yeah.
it messes them up.
don't.
It does.
So
Or a human.
bring your
All right, we know that. Huh?
chili cheese dogs.
Chili
come
cheese
on,
dog, don't give 'em to Craig.
So bring your own
Be
food.
warned.
Yeah.
Jackie, what was your experience with the deposit and cancellation policy?
Well, we didn't have to pay anything to make the reservation,
Okay.
and we did not cancel. So we're kind of a last minute. Oh, let's go to Disney for the weekend, on a Friday. So it's we haven't had any problems. As far as cancellation, they don't. Let's see.
They take all major credit cards.
They don't ask for a deposit for the standard indoor, outdoor, and all the standard all indoor suites. For the luxury suites, they do require a deposit equivalent to a day's stay. The deposit is fully refundable if you cancel at least 2 full days prior to your scheduled arrival date. Now, the reservation staff will go over this with you when you make your pet's reservation, but they're
basic
wonderful.
hotel kind of stuff. Checkouts at noon. If you pick up your pet after noon, after 12 high noon, then you'll get a daycare price tacked onto that for a little bit, and
which is only fair, because if
Yeah.
they spent the night,
right,
know.
right. So I don't know. Something else I was going. Oh, we didn't talk about grooming.
Go right ahead.
They do have grooming services available. According to the brochure, new state-of-the-art salon provided by experienced stylists. Best friends, we believe bathing and grooming are essential to a healthy pet. Shampoos, haircuts, and flea treatments to exotic stylings, pedicures, skincare, and moisturizing treatments. Klaus needs that. Your pampered pet will go home looking good as well as feeling great. Also, we did not talk about the fleas. They're checked when they come in. If they spot fleas on them, they will get a flea bath. No dips. They don't dip. Just bathing, which is good. I like that. And this is the same for cats or dogs. So they'll come home without fleas if you bring them there with fleas. And I'm sure you'll be charged for the flea bath.
oh yeah,
So
and they have a go home fresh bath too. They
What's it
always
smell
ask
like?
us. It's
I don't
so
like
fresh and
frou-frou
clean.
smelling pets.
It just clean.
Okay.
Just clean. So like when Kenji spends 2 nights there, now Akitas are different. They're only allowed to have a bath a couple times a year, but we love it when he has a bath. So we've had them do a bath before, and if he
Comes out
could
clean.
smell like that,
Wearing a little scarf.
they put a little
put a little-
bandana on
little
him.
bandana on him.
Oh man, it's my favorite. If he could be like that all the time,
Right.
he would just be even more my favorite than he already is. I love a clean dog.
I do too. I don't like smelly dogs.
Yeah. So they'll do it. They'll ask you what time you're going to pick him up, and they'll do it so that they've bathed him and dried him so that he is like fresh and ready to go home.
Wow.
It's the best.
All right.
cool.
All right. So what's the verdict, guys? What do you think? Is this something that you would do, not do? Would you choose something else instead? Is it worth the cost?
Obviously, Jackie was
For
and
us, it
does.
is. Yep, we do it.
I
Our biggest thing is should we leave him, because we'll use a daycare up where we live sometimes. So our biggest decision is, should we leave him up where we live or should we bring him with us?
Well, you're talking just a couple hours of car ride, right? 2.5 hours. I think you would have to factor in how does your dog do in the car, and which one he's happier at, right?
Yeah.
Now, for a cat,
It's a little bit more of a struggle for a cat, I think, justifying
it is a
that.
bit more of a struggle. Though cats are smarter and more self-sufficient than dogs. Just gonna say that.
She just put that out there. Sorry.
I feel like I would never leave a cat home alone. They would have to have a cat sitter,
Oh,
or take them to a
a friend's house.
facility or a friend's house nearby where I lived. Now, living here, and best friends is near where I live in the grand scheme of things. I think if I had to take the cat somewhere, it would be here, because for the sole purpose that I've seen it and I know what to expect, and I think the cat area, the cat condos, are pretty cool. But
Yeah.
would you take your babies over there?
I'm not sure. They're really active right now, and I'm not sure that I would feel like they would get enough.
Well, you'd have to pull out all the stops and do the.
I
What is
would,
it?
and that gets really expensive. I think I would probably
$200
with
a day for
me
her.
personally.
Playtime. Doesn't say how long the playtime is.
Yeah, and then I would have 2 of them.
You
So.
get a discount on the second one, huh?
I think I like this. Again, this is just my preference. I think I would do along the lines of what Craig does, where I feel like I would prefer to have a friend take care of my animals, just because there would be a little bit more of the
that's not always
individual
an option.
attention.
Yeah.
But yes, that's where I was going next. If that wasn't an option, let's say my friend's not available, they're out of town too,
Right.
and I'm kind of up a creek without a paddle. These are people that I would trust with my pets.
Plus, if you have small children, excuse me, and they want their dog nearby, that might be a way to go, right?
We turn 5. I mean, at least I turn 5 when I go to Walt Disney World instantly. I'm a little kid.
No comment.
Yes. I said that just for you. And so
Thank you.
we need our dog right there. Like, it's really fun to have him right there.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah, I could see how that would be.
It doesn't stress him out to go visit him and then
He
leave him.
loves it. He's like, wee! And when it's time to go back, he gets really excited when someone comes up to get him and he knows he's going back and he loves it. That's how we can tell.
Right.
And that's the thing about your personal animal is that
Right.
you really know your own animal and you have to read your animal. You have
And most
they're
people
going to
know
tell
that,
you.
and they know,
Your animal's going to tell you, like
Right.
if Kenji didn't like it there, we would know,
Right.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, before we let you guys go, we also wanted to inform you that if you wanted even more of a discussion or had more questions, we have some really great threads on the Disboards. That's disboards.com. Over in the DVC board forum, they have a thread called Best Friends Pet Care. So I'll write about
that
this
about?
facility, right? Self-explanatory there. And then over in the Adults and Solo Travelers board, which is applicable, I would think that, solo travelers would probably be more inclined to bring their pets with them. There's a thread started there called Disney with a Pet. So there's a discussion going on about doing Disney with your pet. And then on the Disney Resorts forum, there's also a thread called Options for Kennels. So that one maybe is a little bit more broad, not just talking about Best Friends Pet Care, but maybe other options if you are curious about what else is out there. So I think with that, we have
Pets are
definitely
important.
Yeah, they are.
Pets are cool.
Yeah.
We're done.
We are done. We're going to close out this show. I think we've talked everyone's ears off long enough. But we hope to see you again next week. We will be back with a very fun episode on the trip. So until then, trip out.